At 88, Jane Fonda speaks about the past with a clarity that only time can bring. Decades of fame, controversy, reinvention, and reflection have given her a perspective few people ever reach. Born into Hollywood royalty as the daughter of legendary actor Henry Fonda, she grew up surrounded by the world of film, yet her life was never destined to follow a simple or predictable path. Beneath the privilege of her upbringing was a quiet struggle for identity and meaning, shaped deeply by the tragic loss of her mother when she was just 12 years old. That early heartbreak left a mark that would follow her for the rest of her life, pushing her to question everything, from her place in the world to the values society accepted without challenge. Her acting career eventually brought her global recognition. From the glamorous image she first carried in the 1960s to the powerful, emotionally layered roles that later earned her Academy Awards, Jane Fonda proved again and again that she was far more than a Hollywood starlet. But acting was only one part of her story. As the Vietnam War divided America, she stepped into a role that few celebrities were willing to risk: outspoken activist. Her anti-war stance made headlines around the world and earned her fierce criticism at home, turning her into one of the most controversial public figures of her era. It was during that turbulent time that her conflict with John Wayne became symbolic of a much larger cultural divide. To many Americans, Wayne represented the unshakable image of patriotism and traditional strength that his films had projected for decades. To Fonda, he represented something different: an unwillingness to question authority or acknowledge the complicated realities behind war and power. When Wayne publicly criticized her activism, calling her unpatriotic and dangerous, the clash quickly became one of the most talked-about cultural battles in Hollywood history. Now, looking back after so many years, Fonda insists the conflict was never truly personal. In her view, it was about values and the stories America told itself. Wayne believed in certainty, heroes, enemies, right and wrong. Fonda believed the world was more complicated than that. She understood why her voice unsettled people, especially at a time when women were rarely expected to challenge powerful narratives so openly. But she never believed silence was the right choice. She admits that standing by her convictions came at a cost. Roles disappeared. Public criticism intensified. For years her reputation was overshadowed by controversy. Yet she has never claimed regret for speaking out. If anything, the backlash convinced her she was confronting something that needed to be questioned. Today, the anger that once surrounded those debates has softened with time. What remains is perspective. Fonda no longer carries bitterness about John Wayne, but she also refuses to rewrite history to make it more comfortable. To her, the lesson is simple: heroes can be admired, but they should never be beyond examination. At 88, Jane Fonda believes truth matters more than myth, and that the courage to question powerful stories may be the most lasting legacy of all.